Hey guys, so season 4 of the Kardashians may have wrapped.
But while you wait for season 5, enjoy this super cut of all of our favorite moments from season 4 of Kards Katch Up.
And let us know all your thoughts in the comments below.
It's you and my friends and my kids and everyone against me. It's like you're just a witch and I hate you. You are a narcissist. It is all about you.
And now it's like, okay, Dolce aside, I hate you, witch. Hi, YouTube. Welcome back to Kards Katch Up with E! News.
Season 4!
Little did we know the Kourt and Kim drama that dragged out all of last season that we thought was over is far from over. The whole family, aside from Kourtney, going on this Cabo trip and us finding out that the reason Kourtney hasn't joined is because a couple days before, her and Kim really got into it.
I'll be real with you guys. This is the real problem. Last season was really rough. Then we were over it, and then we watched the edits for our show.
It's almost like a greediness.
She hears what I'm saying about her.
But she doesn't have any friends, so Travis?
No.
And then we get mad all over again.
It just feels like the damage at this point might be irreparable. In case you guys forgot, the whole fight was about how Kourtney was living La Dolce Vita.
Living La Dolce Vita?
Yes.
Had her Dolce & Gabbana wedding, and then a few months later, Kim did that huge collab with Dolce & Gabbana.
We got to the surface of the actual feud, and in Kim's eyes, it was all about her picking 90s clothes and the Dolce & Gabbana of it all.
It's not that original. Everyone does 90s. Like, it's not a new concept is what I'm trying to say, and there's only so many looks to pick from.
But in Kourtney's eyes, she went in on Kim and let out her actual feelings of how egotistical, narcissistic, she just hates Kim.
You're talking about the bullshit details because it's all your egotistical, selfish mind can think about. You cannot stand someone else being the center of attention. You came to my wedding, you couldn't be happy. You complained from the second you got there till the second you left. That's what it's about. Forget about you couldn't be happy. You couldn't be happy for me. You couldn't be happy that I was the center of attention and you weren't.
And then Kim was just like, well, we're all worried about you. And we all have a group chat that says not Kourtney, that includes your best friends. And you know what? Your kids come to me and complain about you too.
All of your friends call us complaining, whether you think they're the ones going to you, they're all coming to us on the side saying the opposite to us. So we're all confused and we're on a group chat that's actually labeled not Kourtney. So we know and have to funnel what your friends are saying to us and have to figure out why you're such a different person and why you have this vendetta out. Your kids have even come to me with problems that they have and how you are, so.
And when Kim says to Kourtney, you have to dig deep and you figure out how you think so low of your sister that I wouldn't be happy for you.
What is it that you feel so low of me?
If you'd like to.
No, I want you to dig deep and figure out why you hate me so much and why you're so angry with me because all of this never happened. You just are a different, you hate us. You're a different person. We all talk about it.
I don't need you guys anymore.
I
don't need to be a part of it.
This, I felt like my Kardashian tuition is telling me there's more here. I feel like it's not just Kim saying, all you want to do is stay in with Travis. They're like, she's changed. We're worried about you. Are you happy?
Are you happy?
Yes. Not when I'm on the phone with you. I was 5 minutes ago.
Asking Kourtney Kardashian, Miss Disneyland, this is my fairy tale. Are you happy? Is more of a dagger in the heart than the whole Dolce & Gabbana thing.
I have a happy life, and the happiness comes when I get the away from you guys.
Also, the style at your wedding was horrendous. I hated every look.
If anything, I was like, I don't like, and I told Khloe, I don't like your look. I don't like this. I don't like, if it was visually, it was not my thing.
Is Kim trying to make up or is she trying to just double down?
I'm surprised Kim and Kourtney were in a confessional together because I would have thought those two would have waited all season to even be in a scene together after how heavy and how dark it got on the phone.
Think people are going to be surprised to see the two of you together?
We're like, crickets.
This just goes to show us one thing, Colt.
What?
We have a hell of a season in front.
Yes.
So we see the Kard-Jenner family going on their, iconic vacations. They fly out to Cabo, Mexico, and we have almost everyone on the trip. Kendall and Kylie, Khloe, Kim, Kris and Khloé. We don't got Kourtney.
Mine is my little sweet Kourtney.
She didn't push her boundaries for this trip.
Boundaries.
We find out something wild, that Kim and Khloé have never had a beer in their lives.
You guys, are you okay?
No.
You've never had a beer?
I've never had a beer.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Just when I thought I knew everything, I was like, they've never had a beer?
Kendall actually asks Khloé about Tristan's house and when it will be ready, because guess what? Tristan is staying with Khloé.
And he's still there.
Is Tristan's house done?
No, it's been 3 weeks that he'll be at my house, and he was supposed to be there too. I'll give him until a month before I say something.
Even when Khloé says when it gets to a month, she's gonna, remind him it's time to leave, Kris is like, then he'll come over to my house.
He'll be over at our house in a minute, babe.
Well, no, I'm sure he can move in at his point, I'm assuming.
At this point, though, Kris and Tristan need a couple name, and I'm just gonna coin Kristen, because for some reason, she is just going in for him. There is something about Tristan, and I think it's the dimples. I don't know why I've never really put two and two together.
Or the height. What about the height?
I just think it's the dimples. She probably just envisions herself like, oh, he could just scoop me up. Corey can't pick me up. But I literally just cannot get over the fact that he's moved in. Khloe's doing the best she can. And thank God for Khloe, because she's actually taking full ownership of how crazy the situation is. But she's clear. I want everyone to know I am single. We are not together. And we're entering a new chapter.
I am not back together with Tristan. Hate to break it to everybody, but I am not.
But it was just funny when Kim was kind of reading Khloe in the confessional, being like, Khloe brings it up all the time. Like, we're not even talking about it. It's on her mind 24/7.
Khloe is so sensitive. Like anything that had nothing to do with them, she would literally jump in and snap. But it would be like, oh yeah, have you guys seen this cute couple? And she's like, well, don't think Tristan and I are a couple. It'll be like, oh, this fork is cute. Oh, don't even think that I would lift a fork for Tristan. And we would be like, we're not talking about you guys.
But this whole conversation about Khloe having to reiterate that she's single and she's not with Tristan brought us to a Cabo dinner table convo about how the girls are single.
I'm all for it. If Kendall's gonna open up about how she's terrible at being single, I'm here for it, because at least we're hearing some information.
I'm the worst single person ever because I'm not going out, I'm not exploring anything, I just sit at home. But whatever. I don't chase, I attract.
The sisters are talking about how can they make sure everyone knows that they're single and ready to mingle.
I need people to know that I'm single.
I think you need a great photo.
You know what we need for that? We need a bikini pic tomorrow.
I think unless people know, how is anyone going to approach you?
No, I need people to know for me,
There's
too,
another
you
way to
guys.
do it.
And Kylie was like, tits and ass.
Yes!
Tits and ass.
Which I'm like, Kylie, pretty sure you posted tits and ass when you weren't single too. Then we find out that Khloe really can't even hear the word tits.
Oh, I hate that word. Titties. I don't like it. I don't know why it's such a raunchy word.
Tatis? You're not going to say tatis.
If you say the T word one more time.
Tits?
It's so trashy. You're better than that.
You're right.
You're better than that. I can't even say it. I really don't think I can. Titties. So crass. Like, it'll just, I don't know. Boobs, breasts, chi-chis, whatever else you want to call them.
What you guys think of the season 4 premiere of The Kardashians? Let us know in the comments below.
And make sure to check out all of our past recaps in case you missed them.
And don't forget to subscribe.
I know how much I care about you. I know how much I love you. You're my best friend. How come I meet my person? How come I've done so much wrong things to them? Like, why put you through that?
Well, if I am, then why would you have treated me this way?
It seems like he kind of did get a pass in the family. I'm lacking the vibe that they're getting. Hi, YouTube. Welcome back to Kards Katch Up with E! News. We have the second episode of The Kardashians, season 4. The episode starts off with Khloé having a martini party at her house. You know what's so weird, though? Tristan's living in her house, but it doesn't seem like Tristan was invited, per se, to this martini hour. Tristan came down, and it just got more awkward from there.
What's up, everybody?
Tristan, how have you been?
He didn't know what camera to look at.
You're supposed to talk to the barrel of the camera at this part.
Okay, so you were talking to this one, I'll talk to this one.
Noise.
Life just throws a monkey wrench at you sometimes.
I can't tell you how wild it is to me. Like, Kim does such a good job of explaining things. Really, she needs an award for that. Screw like a business award.
Lame.
When she sat down in the confessional and explained, like, yes, he messed up so many times, but he stepped up in other ways.
It's so crazy because he's such a good friend and he's such a good, like, dad, but he just couldn't get it together in that area of, like, being faithful boyfriend. We've had our arguments about it, but he's also shown so many decent things and just has been a really good person and friend.
And we've seen paparazzi pics of him go to the kids' basketball games, and Kim insinuated even that instead of Kanye, she said when my kid's father wouldn't show up, Tristan would show up.
When he saw me struggling with my kids, he stepped up. He started showing up to the games. He picks Zane up, takes them to dinner, and will always come to my defense, especially if it's stuff with like me and my ex. And I just like never forgot that.
It seems like he kind of did get a pass in the family. From what we've seen of Tristan, I'm lacking the vibe that they're getting.
We all hate him, but now we have to do a full rebrand because I don't think he's going anywhere.
No, more like you're never leaving me.
Oh, okay.
Other than possibly to his own home.
But I love that Kim said that too, like, you're gonna hate me.
I know you guys are gonna hate me for this, and you're gonna hate us, and you're gonna think Khloe's whatever.
Like, she's keeping it very real. But you know what? The Kardashians have proven time and time again that they are forgivers. So there needs to be a game like, how much can a baby daddy treat them like shit and they'll still forgive? So at the end of the episode, Khloé and Tristan have a more serious sit down. She also wants to enforce some boundaries, a la Kourtney. Boundaries.
I'm not naive to the fact that my ex-boyfriend is living in my house and that, you know, we're in really sensitive times. Without me being an asshole all the time, I still just want to make sure that boundaries are set, that they're in place, and that there's just full transparency and honesty.
So this sit down between Khloé and Tristan, it did get more serious. Tristan not only called Khloé his person.
I know how much I care about you. I know how much I love you. You're my best friend. How come I meet my person? How come I've done so much wrong things to them? Like, why put you through that?
But also, Tristan, if what you say is true, if like you really thought I was your person or whatever you just said, then that means you'll feel this much more affected by losing me and want to change for yourself.
He also talked about the mistakes that he's made and said that, you know, he doesn't want True to be embarrassed of him in the future.
You know, True's understanding stuff, and Prince understand things where they go to school and they have classmates. Like, the last thing I want them to do is ever feel embarrassed that I'm their father.
He also, for a moment, sounded like he was blaming the lifestyle of like a player, a b-ball, what do they call it? Like a basketball player?
Yeah.
He was kind of like, you know, all that mentality of like bros before hoes and all that.
That's the one thing I think is bad about sports. We're groomed to be like so tough with a mentality. We're taught like, be the man, do what you please. Bros over hoes, all these stupid words is like, bro. The guy that probably made that is probably the biggest like
Loser.
And I was like, are you really? The producer even said to Khloé, like, is it difficult for you to hear that you're his person? And her answer was so on point and left no questions unanswered.
Tristan has said before, like, I'm his person. I'm not saying I don't believe him, but I've heard this. And of course, it's angered me before because I'm like, well, if I am, then why would you have treated me this way? And how many times? You know, like this isn't like, oh, a one-time thing and here we are. Like I love and I am a hopeless romantic. But that's not going to change how I feel and what happened.
But then I'm sitting there thinking too, if she is always clear with like, hey, we're never getting back together, why do you think he thinks they're going to get back together? Because Corey Gamble wants them back together, so obviously the bros are having conversations about this.
I'm still hoping they can figure it out because it's really good how them being under the same roof, there was some life in there.
Yeah.
You should have one more talk with her because life is so short.
Props to Tristan for owning his mistakes, but just know us fans will never forget.
So we've seen it on Instagram. We got the chuggy caption of what? Like it's hard?
Wow, you're at Harvard.
What? Like it's hard?
We already knew that Kim Kardashian got to speak at Harvard Business School. She's very excited about this opportunity because, you know, it just shows like Kim is more than the thirst traps and the glam. She's also a kick-ass businesswoman.
Well, I just love that in the teaser for the show, Kim was like, I'm so powerful at manifesting.
I can manifest like a guys.
Let's get married.
So watch out, worlds.
And her dressing up for Elle Woods for Halloween really was for this moment. It's kind of shocking to me hearing one of the people at Harvard be like, why don't you show this version of yourself?
Is it intentional that you're not sharing this version of Kim? That is an incredible thought leader and, you know, business leader and founder.
And I'm sitting there thinking, do people not know every single version of the Kardashians like I do? This is not new.
I know, and if you remember, Colt, people were hating when this went down. People were like, she had a sex tape and she was born rich and she had this and she had that. And this is the chick you let speak at Harvard? I mean, wild. I love that there was that one girl when they allowed them to film who was like, you really inspired me and you make me feel okay about being a businesswoman and caring about glam.
As a woman in business who's worked in finance as probably the only woman in the room most of the time, you have been honestly probably the reason that I can also love glam.
A tear. That was so sweet.
I loved that moment because how funny it was for someone at Harvard, and the one moment they get to talk to Kim Kardashian, they bring up, you make it okay for me to get glam. Like it was this like trailblazing moment. But I think that's what's so powerful about the Kardashians and the show. And I think Kim was very like, no, I'm just myself. And that's literally all you can do.
There was like a defining moment when I was like, when I went to the White House, but I had just posted a bikini photo and I was like, oh shit, are they gonna look at my Instagram and think I'm so inappropriate? Like, but then I was like, when is being me gonna be okay?
But listen, you can't take away from Kim that she's a businesswoman. You can't take away that Skims became the synonymous word to shapewear. To be at Harvard is wild, but it was part of Kim's dream and she made it come true.
Harvard is like, holy shit. Bucket list.
So what'd you guys think of episode 2 of The Kardashians? Let us know in the comments below.
And make sure to check out last week's recap in case you missed it.
And don't forget to subscribe.
How is Tristan getting that?
What?
You getting that sausage?
Ask him on your own. I don't know what 5 or 10 years will bring. If he's my person, then he's meant to be my person.
Her nose are getting a little bit weaker every time. Like, I feel like she didn't say to Scott, like, hell no. Hey, YouTube. Welcome back to Kards Katch Up with E-News. This episode started with our fave, the Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back by popular demand.
It's also the opposite because we didn't demand Tristan to come back. But this episode is all about the Kardashian exes.
And they hang out. He seems to learn about Tristan's house roof caving in situation only now.
How is Tristan?
It's good. His house getting flooded and all that, it's fine.
His house got flooded?
That's why he's been at my house. The whole ceiling caved in.
Scott is really like surprised that Tristan is living with her platonically and that they're in different rooms and that they're not banging and she's not getting the sausage.
You
Solid
getting
friends. What?
You getting that sausage?
I'm not gonna lie, the best part about the episode was Scott asking, are you getting the sausage?
But Khloé, she's gonna reach her limit of like how much people can ask this question. She's over it. She's like, no.
I am not back together with Tristan.
But you know what? Her nose are getting a little bit weaker every time. Like, I feel like she didn't say to Scott, like, hell no. She was kind of like, he's in a different room.
Ask him on your own. I don't care.
A little. Half asleep, both side action.
We don't sleep in the same bed. He has his own room.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not, things have...
Boundaries.
Yeah.
I hear you.
But we're great friends.
And it's like, okay, Khloé, he can still sneak in and give you that sausage.
Literally, and the fact that this was the first time that Khloé Kardashian kind of was open about the possibility of her and Tristan getting back together in the future. Because the premiere episode, Khloé was very adamant to let everyone know that she was single.
She also said, right now we're not together, but who knows what's gonna be in 5-10 years if he's my person and that's what's meant to be.
I don't know what 5 or 10 years will bring. If he's my person, then he's meant to be my person. But right now, I'm not going to make my life any harder than it has to be. So yes, I am going to have as much as a seamless, fantastic co-parenting relationship as I can.
She's breaking because it went from very strongly, I want everybody to know I'm single.
I need people to know that I'm single.
Like, this ain't it. He needs to get the frick out of my house.
Like, I still need my space.
To right now, no. Right now, no is like the weakest no ever. But you know what, Colt? I feel bad for Khloé, and not only because of Tristan, but because obviously Tristan being the caretaker of Amari equals Khloé being the caretaker of Amari. It looks like she knows what's going on more than Tristan.
Sometimes he doesn't sleep well. His seizures are triggered by sleep.
You're like a full doctor now. You know everything.
No, I just know a lot about him.
He's Amari's sole caretaker, not Khloé. And somehow, you know, Khloé is just so good at being a caretaker that she just assumes that responsibility. But it is kind of like, wait, Tristan, isn't Amari more your responsibility?
I'm just wondering, like, what would Tristan do without the Kardashians? And I think Khloé made it very clear this episode that everything she's been through in her life, losing her father, dealing with Lamar when he was in a coma, she's like, I was kind of built for this.
I don't know if this sounds really dark, and I don't even know if anyone would understand this, so I'm going to say it. But I feel like I'm equipped with the tools because of what I went through with Lamar, who couldn't walk, who was bedridden, who couldn't speak for months.
But you know what, Colt? You said it last episode. Tristan is a suck up. We saw like flickers of it at the martini cocktail party last week, and we assumed it because we're like, why else would Kris Jenner be so obsessed with him? And now we know it. His tongue is so far up her anus that it's stuck.
You know, I don't want to get your, your beautiful two-piece dirty.
Well,
I got this with the long arms and the reach.
What don't you do? Well, you sure do come in handy.
And then we find out basically that the reason Tristan has this ESPN gig, which we also assumed is Kris Jenner.
I was able to reach out to ABC, Disney, and really express how talented I thought Tristan was and how they would really benefit from him being a part of the ESPN team, for example.
Kris was like, I mean, you have the talent. Did she watch the episodes of the Kardashians?
I think I was the last person on her address book that she asked to come join her on this hike. But at the end of the day, it's quality time.
He does not pass a confessional. Like, not that he's not like good looking. It's more like there just isn't that face to camera chemistry or naturalness in front of the camera like us.
Right?
Kris, can you make a call for me, please? Thank you. I'm really happy that they kept it in the episode. And isn't it fun that, like, we know, Tristan, we know. Kris, your mommy calling and got you to know?
I think Tristan's more of a Nepo baby than Kendall and Kylie at this point. Like, are you kidding me?
Tristan's a Nepo baby.
He's the definition Nepo baby.
Kris even says in this episode, like, what's gonna happen when Tristan moves out? I'm afraid there's gonna be too much of a void.
I worry that Khloé, with this change of Tristan moving out, there is gonna be a void there.
Then the producer asks Khloé if she's prepared for when Tristan moves out. And it looks like Khloé's like, I don't know.
Tristan moves out. Are you prepared for that?
I don't know.
And that is a very different answer than Khloé at the beginning of the season saying, I can't wait for him to get out of my house. I don't know what's happening.
We are all in a state of I don't know, because I feel like we're seeing Khloé kind of realize, oh, this is her normal now. Does she want a new normal, or is she okay with this co-parenting situation? Or does she want more to be co-parenting with the K, and that means she's actually getting the sausage?
That sausage. Ah, yes. So when Scott and Khloé were hanging out, we learned more about Scott's car accident, which wildly I feel like didn't get that much press or media attention. And like we see here that Scott could have literally died.
Basically hit and it did a somersault forward. Oh. Then hit, then landed.
But you know why I love Scott? He makes a joke out of everything. And even when Khloé walks in and she opens his fridge, he has a pretty good fridge, lots of different drink options. She was like, you're really living large these days. And he was like, no pun intended, I've gained a shit ton of weight.
You're really living large these days.
No pun intended. I've gained a lot of weight here because of my back.
And Khloé's just like, I know that you're not like taking care of yourself. You're not doing physical therapy. And he's like, you're right, I'm not.
Let me promise you something. You have not done physical therapy.
Yeah.
It is wild though, because he did mention that they told him to like microdose shrooms, and he's like, that's crazy.
I did a couple hours with this woman in Santa Monica. And I'm not into like spiritual healing at all.
Yeah.
And she was like, just, you know, microdose some shrooms. Because I was like, this is not for me.
And of course, in like true Scott fashion, he makes those jokes, and the doctor was like, well, what'd you like to do for fun, like before your back got all, you know, messed up? And he's like, sex.
What do you do before you hurt your back for fun? Would you like...
Sex.
Sex?
But now I can't move, so...
Right.
I'm terrible.
Well, Scott's extremely horny and it probably hasn't gotten laid in a while if his first thought for when he turns 40 is to hook up with Khloé.
On my 40th birthday or something, maybe? Me and you?
What?
What?
Me and you what?
I don't know.
You might have bumped your head as well.
He's not getting this out of his head. He wants to hook up with Khloé, and Khloé's like not having it.
I mean, listen, there is an elephant in the room here, right? Kourtney's not going to film with Scott, so he's not going to be invited to group events. And there's probably like some Kourtney laws around Scott even being on the show. There's been some speculation from the first episode when Kim said everyone was worried about Kourtney and concerned about her, and she changed so much.
We all are concerned. We all think that you're just really not happy. You hate us. You're a different person. We all talk about it.
People immediately thought, oh no, maybe this has something to do with Travis. Maybe he's isolating her from her friends and family. And, you know, really, it seemed like everyone was trying to place the blame somewhere. But you know what? Maybe Kourtney's isolating herself. And she's like, I don't want to be part of this. I want to be home with my man. So what did you guys think of episode 3 of The Kardashians? Let us know in the comments below.
And make sure to check out last week's recap in case you missed it.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Almost my entire life of men, they all have to realize how great I am after they've showed me how terrible they can be. So why can't someone see how great I am to begin with?
Why don't you ask Tristan some of these questions?
What was mindset when you cheated?
You're asking me? Who the else am I talking to?
Kris is in shock that Khloé would pull this kind of on camera. Hi, YouTube. We started with Khloé and Kris heading over to Scott's place for a little wellness check or to film.
So what's happening? Are you dating anybody?
Oh my God.
That's so subtle. Well, I'm dying to know.
I've been too focused on like the kids and me.
Are you ever lonely?
Yeah.
And they even brought in Penelope Disick to kind of be like, who do you see your dad being with?
What qualities should we look for in a girl?
Older.
Yeah, older than what he's used to.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. He was saying late 20s, but I said young 30s is fine.
20s.
Whatever.
Exactly.
You're 40.
You're not gonna date someone 19.
I would.
Yeah, he would.
But it's not a good look.
You know, I feel bad for the one girl that like went through the rounds and got to the date with Scott, because Scott was like, yeah, she was great. I'd like for her to be my life coach.
I feel like you should be like my life coach.
Okay.
Yeah, what the hell? Like, you have Kris Jenner for that.
We got a little blippy blip for the show, and that kind of segued us into the Khloe and Tristan situation.
I think everything with Scott went really well. It also made me think a little bit about Khloe and where her head's at and where her life is going.
Speaking of dating, what about you and your dating life?
I don't have a dating life.
They enter into this pretty serious conversation that ends up getting a little bit heated, but Kris is just like, how are you gonna feel when Tristan moves on?
You and Tristan do spend a lot of quality parenting, co-parenting time together. What happens if he moves on and you haven't moved on? How are you going to feel about that?
And you know, one of the things that Khloe said really stuck with me, that she was like, you know, everyone's like, Tristan's so great, Tristan's so great. And she's like, I kind of made him great, and they're going to get his greatness.
Tristan's a great guy. If you don't think it infuriates me that I basically helped mold this person to who he is, and now the greatness of him gets to be shared with someone else, yeah, that's very frustrating for me.
But at the same time, I feel like she's gonna keep rationalizing how even though he's great, he had hurt her so much that she doesn't want to take him back.
Everyone was thinking about themselves. Everyone. From all the girls, they were thinking about themselves. To Tristan, every time this happened, like,
right,
no one ever thought about me. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm thinking about me.
Yeah, I was heartbroken when he cheated on me freaking pregnant, and he cheated on me when our surrogate was pregnant, and he cheated on me with my little sister's best friend or whatever. So,
we never will forget. And screw Kris Jenner. I never thought I would ever say that in my life.
Me, you really caught me off
actually
guard.
delete that. We cannot get canceled by Kris Jenner. But no, screw Kris for not being open and honest with Khloe on camera. But when she gets in that confessional, she is over here spilling all the tea, saying how she's worried about Khloe.
I really worry for Khloe that if Tristan does meet somebody one day and does move on, is she going to regret not getting back with him fully?
And I'm wondering if she actually is open with Khloe about this, because she's clearly talking to Tristan.
It's frustrating that almost my entire life of men, they all have to realize how great I am after they've showed me how terrible they can be, when I knew how great they were to begin with. So why can't someone see how great I am to begin with? Why don't you ask Tristan some of these questions?
I know, Khloe was definitely not loving that.
Khloe's not settling down, and she's literally telling Kris Jenner, well, let me flip the script here. What does a cheater think about when they cheat, Kris?
What was mindset when you cheated?
You're asking me?
Who else am I talking to?
Kris is in shock that Khloe would pull this kind of on camera.
Yeah, she's like, what the hell? Like, that was keeping up storyline. We are not bringing that back up. If Kourtney's not gonna film, if Kendall and Kylie aren't gonna film, we gotta start bringing up the dirt from Kris Jenner.
So this episode, we also get to see Kim and her friends and the kids go on a soccer mom trip with the boys. And we can't really call this like a regular soccer mom trip, because they went around the globe with these kids, okay? But for me, one of the most interesting parts was when they were in the car and, you know, her friend was saying like, oh, you know, we might meet some cute guys at the soccer game.
There's cute guys. Yeah, there might be some cute guys.
Why are you all looking at me?
I'm saying I have age limits, guys, and I'm
18. You're like, after my last experience, I have age limits.
As in Pete Davidson.
I need just a little bit more age appropriate.
Yeah.
I need like 40s.
So her friends are into that for her. And you know what? I'm into that for her too.
And I love how Kim Kardashian, this episode, she opens up as much as she can about her co-parenting relationship with Kanye.
Yes, this was a very interesting revelation this episode. Kim hired a manny.
I do think that my household and even in our family, it's like very female dominated. And I recently hired a manny. I really wanted a male around that was going to be picking them up and taking them to sports. And I was scared out of my mind
to tell their dad that.
She is telling the audience, like, Kanye's not around. He's just off with his wife in matching stockings or whatever they wear. The other interesting aspect of this was she was so worried about Kanye's reaction to the Manny, but then she said that Kanye, you know, met him and played basketball with him and Saint.
When he was dropping off the kids, Kanye introduced himself, played 2-on-2 with Saint and him, has been so nice to him, saying, hey, if you're gonna help raise my son, because he handed him the ball like really easily or something, and he's like, don't do that, make him go get it himself. These are like some of the rules that I would want. And I was like, oh my God, okay. That's great.
I do love, though, she still does whatever the frick she wants.
Also in their conversation in the car, Kim brings up how everyone said her and her sisters were not invited to the Met Gala, but Kim wants everyone to know that she actually was.
Like, I wouldn't go, but I'm also really petty like that. How, like, that thing came out that was like, none of the Kardashians are invited to the Met. It was like a big story. Just came out like last week, and everyone was like, oh my God, is this true? Are you really not invited? So, like, there's something about me that's like, oh, I just want to show up. I mean, it was just like a thing because I was never invited for I was like Kanye's +1.
And it just goes to show how heavy the Met Gala weighs on Kim, because she did start off as Kanye West +1, but now Kim Kardashian is the Met Gala. So I don't know why that got to her so much, because when you think of the Met Gala, you think of Kim Kardashian.
Everyone's dying to be like, Anna hates Kim because she's not fashion and she's not in the real celebrity world. I don't know what point people are trying to prove, but I get that it gets to Kim, because imagine you're seeing something not true about yourself over and over again, and everyone's like, you're not invited, and you're like, but I am. But I am. So what did you guys think of episode 4 of The Kardashians? Let us know in the comments below.
And make sure to check out last week's recap in case you missed it.
And don't forget to subscribe.
I just want Khloe to be really careful when she makes these decisions and she has to let somebody go.
Maybe you might want to try to save your family. Maybe you might want to give this a shot.
That's why though, all the energy you bring to the house, your house finished, and then it's like, Khloe gonna be crying.
What in the hell?
You guys, this is mind-boggling. Hi, YouTube. Welcome back to Kards Katch Up. This episode picks up right where we left off. We love it to be continued.
What was mindset when you cheated?
You're asking me?
Yes. Who else am I talking to?
Khloe switched the convo onto her. And you know what? Kris had to answer under the pressure of the cameras. She probably didn't think Khloe would do her so dirty.
Yes, I know you were really young, which is a big factor.
I think being really young and dumb is something that plays into it because you don't really understand the consequences of your actions.
But what was my
Appreciate
dad
the
not
consequences. I don't know, because he was such a great husband and such a great dad, and I think that I fell into a situation where I thought that the grass was greener somewhere else. And I made a huge mistake. That's like my life's biggest regret.
We're now understanding kind of where Kris is coming when it comes to wanting Tristan and Khloe back together. It's because she's resentful that she left her ex-husband, and she's resentful that her family's not together.
And kind of insinuated that there were regrets when her and Robert kept on, being such close friends.
When I got divorced, Robert and I became best friends. And I did have regrets. I thought, wow, what was I thinking?
Through that conversation, they got back to talking about Tristan, and Kris is still saying, I want Khloe to be really careful when she makes this decision. I don't want her to regret it.
I just want Khloe to be really careful when she makes these decisions and she has to let somebody go.
I just want you to be happy.
I already have my happily ever after with my kids. I'm totally happy.
She's basically saying, I want Tristan and Khloe to get back together, and Khloe will regret it that the man of her dreams, or the man of Kris's dreams rather, isn't available. And this is mind-boggling to me, Colt. Kris telling her daughter, go settle, go be with someone who screwed around on you 3 times. He really did a number on her. Kris and Khloe wrap up this conversation. Khloe's like, let me take my time, before I get back into the world.
I want to just enjoy my life with them. And if I find a guy, then I'll find a guy.
Yeah.
But that's not my top priority. But I genuinely don't want anything right now.
Yeah.
I don't want the responsibility of another person.
Yeah.
So give me time.
Later in the episode, we see Tutu's 5th birthday, which, like, don't you want to just roll around in that grass?
We go too. Hold on tight.
We get to really see the birthday party of all birthday parties. And I say that because it wasn't just True's birthday, it was also Tristan's mom's birthday.
It's my mom's birthday today, so I think it's a good way of, yeah, you know, I got my angel in heaven, I got my angel on earth, so we're celebrating both today.
But whose idea was that?
Angel Khloé.
Angel Khloé.
That was Chloe's idea.
As we saw at the birthday party, she was a little annoyed with Tristan.
Is he driving you crazy?
I mean, yes
Or is it
and no.
livable?
There it goes. In the center now.
I like it in because it's not as like trying.
Trying hard? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah. These lined up. Cheers.
Who wouldn't be? I mean, he had another moment of talking to the camera, which, like, literally couldn't be more cringeworthy. It's a no for me, dog.
I think when he's direct to camera, he knows who he's talking to. It's not like he's talking to Khloe. He's not
Feels like he's talking to Colt. Trashton.
And that's why it pisses me off when Corey's over here telling Tristan he's the best dad in the entire world.
Daddy of the year. Daddy, best father.
Yes.
Best father award.
When that's not all what it means to be a good dad, is just showing up and tucking your kids at night and taking them to school.
Corey wants to have sex with Tristan. Like, I don't understand. You guys, Corey telling Tristan that he's like the light of the family, that Khloe's gonna cry when he leaves.
In the house, all the energy you bring to the house, and then all the positivity, and then with the kids, and then everything, your house finished, and then it's like, Khloe gonna be crying.
Like, Khloe better him up for saying that. Like, Khloe won't be crying when he leaves. Thank you. And then even the producer asks Khloe in the confessional, your mom and Corey, they're so for this relationship. They really want a future between you two. And Khloe again is showing understanding.
Your mom and Corey are hopeful for a future for you two.
I think it's probably really confusing to people because Tristan and I get along so well, but I think other people want more, and I know where I'm comfortable, and I'm comfortable with where it's at right now, which is a modern family. It's really weird.
Later in the episode, Khloe gets dinner with Malika. Almost immediately when they sit down, she's probing and questioning about Tristan again.
Tristan, is he still with you?
No, thank you so much. He has moved into his home.
He didn't want to go. Maybe think about it this way. Maybe you might want to try to save your family. Maybe you might want to give this a shot despite.
Then Khloe even has to say, but I did give him more chances.
I've tried to save my family a couple times. And you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Guess what, buddy? I got no more plans.
But Malika doesn't stop there. Malika even asks her, so what are you saying? Is that a no or is that a maybe?
So it's not never.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's definitely not now.
It's really annoying. I don't know how Khloe like contains herself.
Malika's saying you need to fight for your family. What in the hell is she talking about? Khloe, of all people, has done everything in her power to keep her family together, even having to deal with the public and the media and social media considering her a weak bitch.
I want to date people, I think, and like see what's out there. I want to feel proud, like when I go into a room and I'm with my man and I don't think everyone's laughing at me for being a weak bitch, for staying with someone.
And for Malika to be over here, you are not a weak bitch. Like, if anything, you're the strongest person I know.
You are the furthest from a weak woman. It takes a very strong woman to forgive people. It takes a very strong woman to be hurt multiple times by the same person and still smile in their face.
But have you ever considered taking back a cheater that put you through hell? Like, yeah, that would make you so strong. It's like she's already done that.
But here's an important piece to all of this, which Khloe did say it. I don't know how convinced I am, but she did say to Malika that she's not attracted to Tristan.
In an ideal world, I wish I was married and that, you know, we had our family together. Like, that's what everyone wants. But I'm not attracted to Tristan. Like, I'm not like,
wow. That's a big say. You're still attracted to him,
Yeah, no,
right?
no. I know he's very handsome.
And Malika took such offense to that.
He's a beautiful
creature,
statue of a human.
She's like, to the god?
The most statuesque person in the world. Like, bitch, if you want to have sex with Tristan, just tell Khloe. Like, does everyone want to sleep with Tristan? What is going on?
I don't understand what's so hard for Malika to understand. She isn't sexually attracted to him because all she sees is this cheater.
Well, what's mind-boggling is that the conversation starts off with Khloe saying, I would castrate anyone with a smile on my face if they did this to my daughter.
If someone did what Tristan did to my daughter, I would probably castrate them.
For sure.
And smile doing it.
That's the headspace Khloe is in still. So Malika coming with this approach of not even acknowledging that Khloe's still pissed off is mind-boggling.
So what did you guys think of episode 5 of The Kardashians? Let us know in the comments below.
And make sure to check out last week's recap in case you missed it.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Tristan has made horrible decisions and choices, you know, with my sister. There's times when I'm so triggered by him, I can't be around him. Tristan's with them. Is that okay? I feel like she gets it from me.
Finally, there's someone who's not Team Tristan, and it's Kourtney and Penelope. Hi, YouTube. Welcome back to Kards Katch Up with E-News. The whole family goes to Palm Springs for Easter. Obviously, Tristan is invited. Khloe was about to come pick Penelope up in a little golf cart to go on a ride, and Kourtney was like, cool, just so you know, Tristan is there. Are you okay with that?
Do we have room for Penelope? Always, right?
P, Coco's gonna come grab you on the golf cart. Tristan's with them. Is that okay?
And then we find out that Kourtney is not that into Tristan, and hence Penelope is not that into Tristan.
I feel like she gets it from me. I told her, like, the first day of school, I was, like, so triggered by him. I don't know why. And then I was like... You know why. Right, I know why. But I was like... I feel like we all, like, brush it off and are fine. And then I was just, like, so triggered. And I was like, I just can't do it anymore. Like, I just can't.
First of all, I love that she's back filming. And I also love that, you know, last episode we talked about how the whole family is so Team Tristan. Finally, there's someone who's not Team Tristan, and it's Kourtney and Penelope.
Which I'm like really entering my Kourtney era.
Finally.
Right? She's the only one verbalizing her distaste for Tristan.
There's times when I'm so triggered by him, I can't be around him.
Do I feel bad that Penelope doesn't really like Tristan because Kourtney is rubbing off on her? Not at all. Someone needs to hate Tristan in this family.
Kourtney is the type of person, and we've seen it time and time again, and even in this fight with Kim, like, she's not a brush under the rug, but even in those moments where she does see Tristan in the Palm Springs house, she like hugs him again, very awkward hug. You could tell she doesn't want his nipples rubbing on her.
I know, ew, put a shirt on, Tristan.
She's trying to be nice to Tristan, but you could just tell it's not her vibe. Khloe seems to appreciate it. Khloe said, the fact that I'm good with him because I co-parent with him doesn't mean my family needs to be.
I'm really proud of myself for where me and Tristan are. Where I am at with Tristan has nothing to do with what I expect my family members to do. If Penelope has her feelings about Tristan, rightfully so. And good for you, girl. I want Penelope to have these feelings, and I don't want to talk her out of them because I don't want this behavior to be something that I'm validating or I'm justifying.
But I also think it's really interesting to see Khloe's perspective on Penelope is Kourtney's daughter, and Penelope will be dating someone one day, and you should not be putting yourself through something when someone treats you like that over and over again.
It just shows you that it does mean a lot to Khloe if you hate him. So she must love us.
Tristan.
Tristan. Let's trash him.
Tristan.
Another thing that happened in this episode, again, is a Khloe-Kris rendezvous serious sit-down convo. But this time it's about something else. Kris tells Khloe, you're smart, you're funny, you listen to people want to hear from you. You should have a podcast. Quote, everyone has one.
I really feel strongly that you should have a podcast. Which now everybody's doing it from their house. I think you would really be a person I would listen to, and you're my daughter.
When Kris said that, I was like, she should have a podcast. And then Khloé is just not into it, but not for the reasons you might think.
As I appreciate all of that, and I'm sure I'd be good at a lot of things, but I can't take on other responsibilities like that, like starting something completely new, because I don't have a team to lean on. Like, I don't have a management team. You are only there until the contract is signed, and then you dissipate until you want to bring me a next contract. I don't have a middleman to go to say, I need help here, X, Y, and Z. You have no idea how I can't do any of the things that I should be doing because I'm trying to fix ups.
I think this conversation was extremely eye-opening to see kind of how the Kardashian machine works, because I'm over here thinking Kris Jenner has 80,000 people working under her to manage these girls, and in reality, Khloé's saying over here, once the contract is done, you're out, you're done, I'm on my own. And I don't think Kris Jenner understands how hectic and chaotic a podcast would be.
Kris really, I don't want to say is gaslighting her, but
gaslighting 101 is what Kris Jenner is doing.
I think we just look at it differently.
I don't know one thing I said that was not exactly the way it is.
I think we just look at it. I'm not saying it wasn't. I think your expectation.
So who am I?
Listen, I just said if you want to do a podcast, we'll build a team.
But she's not answering her concerns. Khloé is saying, okay, we do this deal, but then where are you? Nowhere to be found. And like, I have all these other deals that have issues.
But then if I go ahead and I take on this podcast deal, I'm overwhelmed with work that I'm doing all on my own because I have no team, no support. And so before I take on another project, I need to fix the 20 that are so up.
And Kris is like, I just think you'd be really good at a podcast.
You could do so many great things on a podcast. I think you would be somebody that everybody would want to listen to.
So Khloé is frustrated. I would think that there are like managers under Kris that help manage the girls, but Khloé says no. If Kris can't answer, then you get your assistant, and the assistant can't make a decision.
Matthew.
And this is me talking to you as my manager. When you are on your vacations, when you're in other countries, when you're at dinners, lunches, you know, you might be on a yacht for 2 weeks, which you should be. You have an assistant that will say, we can't do this unless we talk to Kris. And then when I get a hold of you hours later, that makes me boil in whatever my issue is.
So things kind of end up falling flat.
What I'm getting at is I'm not going to continue the conversation, and I'm not talking to this bull that you keep trying, because I'm never heard. We put a Band-Aid over a bullet hole.
Oh my God.
And she likes to patronize me and be like, oh no, everything's fine, we'll work on it. It's all bull. I'm so turned off from all of this.
You don't even understand what I'm saying.
The point is...
Okay.
No. You're not going to okay me.
Okay, I get the point. I'm not going to keep belaboring this whole thing over and over again. Calm down, Khloé. You're just getting upset again, and it's festering into all these other things that aren't. It's just not healthy for you, babe. It's not healthy.
Oh, yeah, so let's throw a podcast into it.
The thing that really upset me though in that conversation is this entire season is Khloé defending that she's happy. Like the entire time Kris is like, I just want you to be happy. I just want to find something that makes you happy. I just want something that fills your heart. And Khloé's like, nothing fills my heart these days.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of expectations, I guess.
Why?
Without expectations, you don't get hurt with anything. I think I've had so many expectations for so many years, and they've always fallen short. And so it's just easier to just not expect anything and then just be grateful with what you get.
I want to find a way to make Khloé happy.
I want you to do something that's in your heart.
I don't have a lot of things in my heart in general these days.
What did you guys think of episode 6 of The Kardashians? Let us know in the comments below.
And make sure to check out last week's recap in case you missed it.
And don't forget to subscribe.
You guys, something you don't know about me? Yeah, it's an infinity song.
When did you do that?
Finally put a bumper sticker on a Bentley.
Seeing Kim do the like unflattering lip flip, I'm like, Hi, YouTube. Welcome back to Kards Katch Up. This episode starts with Kim gushing over her hair husband, Chris Appleton, which, by the way, hottest man ever.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting a little bit deeper with Chris.
That would be my wet dream.
Kim is there with him, and he's like telling her about the engagement.
Oh my God, wait, where's the ring from?
Actually, do you know that caviar place? It's the first place we went for dinner. He got this ring made out of the caviar tin, the caviar we had.
That's so thoughtful.
So cute, right? He's really thoughtful.
You know, this was in the press. This was a whirlwind romance. I feel like we found out they were engaged, like as we were finding out they were even dating. It's like somebody need a green card. I just want to give people who don't know Lukas, even though he's been in like White Lotus and You, there's another very famous...
Not in Me.
What?
Not in Me.
In the show You.
Oh my God.
Let's backtrack for a second. When Chris and Lukas asked Kim to officiate...
Babe, you ask her.
How good would it be
if
you officiated our wedding?
Okay.
I was like, she could be the flower girl. And I was like, wait, how iconic would
The
it be?
three-time divorcee, you want to be your
Absolutely.
minister?
The first thing, she's like, oh, cute, prenup.
Wait, you have to get a prenup. Can I mention that in front of him?
Yeah, totally.
Wait, can I just give you one tip from a lawyer?
Yeah, tell me.
Prenup.
And didn't she sing a part of Kanye's song? We want prenup, we want prenup, yeah.
We want prenup, we want prenup.
I don't know if Lukas likes that. Lukas is like, yeah, totally, prenup.
Sign that prenup, baby.
I don't know if he was too happy about that piece of advice. And then guess what, Colt? Not only does she agree to officiate, but she then plans this whole wedding in Vegas. She flies them on Kim Air, which is a big freaking deal. She takes them to Shania Twain's surprise performance. She takes them to Usher. I mean, was this all on the Kim K credit card? She made it kind of about herself.
The fact that, one, they got married at the Little White Chapel where Kim Kardashian was married. Two, they went to Shania Twain to have her perform their wedding song. But then we find out it's actually Kim's favorite song and she wants that to be her wedding song.
I would blast it all the time. And I would always say, this will be my song with my forever person.
I feel like she can't help but make it about herself. Like, even when Chris asked her to officiate his wedding, the conversation ended up surrounding her.
So do you think you've got one more wedding inside you?
I don't know. I think I go back and forth. I
will say, I feel like as long as I've known you, I feel like this is the best you've ever been.
And even the producer is like, you said you want to be single for 2 years. It's been 1 year.
Where are you in your 2 years of wanting to be single?
When did I say that?
It's probably been a year.
Okay, so we have a year to go. I think that would be really good for me.
It's like a very dramatic undertone to like just Kim being single. It's like, let her live. She had so many weddings that Chris Appleton had to be like, did you get a prenup for all of yours?
Did you do prenups with all yours?
Not my first one, because I did it in Vegas.
Another thing we find out, which is so wild because we know Kim Kardashian inside out, you guys.
Clearly we didn't know her inside out.
Clearly. Lo and behold, she has an inner lip tattoo.
You guys, something you don't know about me?
What did I say?
It's an infinity song.
When did you do that?
The night of SNL, when I hosted SNL, me and all my friends got matching tattoos and everyone got them on their hands. And I was like, there's not a shot I will get a tattoo. But I finally put a bumper sticker on a Bentley. No one knows, no one sees it, I forget, but every once in a while, I'll be flossing my teeth and I'll see like black and I'll go, oh, what's this black?
Seeing Kim do the like unflattering lip flip, I'm like, good for her, you know? Like, the woman doesn't have a side. The woman has no problem flipping her lip.
The queen of honey. Would you put a bumper sticker on a Bentley?
Honey, would you put a bumper sticker on a Bentley?
Good for her, because I wouldn't have believed that. I've been like, Kim wouldn't have gotten an inner lip tattoo. Kim also said that, you know, when she took Chris and Lukas to Usher, by the way, does that man age? Her group chat was so mad at her because they were supposed to go to Usher for Kim's birthday. They had to turn the plane around because they couldn't land.
The group chat was going nuts. The group chat was like, Usher's our thing.
Yeah. All of us are pissed. And she's like, I didn't know you guys would be upset about this.
And then she takes Lukas and Chris, which like, we don't even know if they're Usher fans. She was just like, I want to go to Usher.
We have to go to the Usher concert.
But her group chat was pissed at her for going with them and not going with them. She's like, NP, we'll take the jet next week.
Like, we have to go back. I'm gonna get together the most fun group, and we are gonna go see Usher.
But my favorite thing ever is them talking about, oh my God, we had so much fun. And it shows them in the group just kind of swaying. That's your version of fun, Kim?
But guess what? They couldn't stay in Vegas and party hardy because Kim had to get back for your favorite, a spray tan at 1 a.m.
Honestly, I didn't even have time for this trip. I have a spray tan at 1 a.m. I have to be home to get my spray tan.
Kimberly needs a spray tan. I have a spray tan in 45 minutes.
Oh, so you're gonna dance me for a spray tan?
Yes.
Oh, really?
This is why Kim Kardashian is my favorite human being on the planet, because she is a voice for the voiceless. She really does all of her justice work. She stands up for our Armenian culture and for the spray tan community. She is here letting people know that when we have to do something, oh, hey, I can't do that because I'm going to be baking in my tan. It's real.
We did get a glimpse into, does Kendall want kids? Again, we got the horse baby born, which if you guys remember, I think it was last season where they did that little like, I had a baby. To be continued. It's a horse.
I'm having a baby horse.
So that happens again.
My baby horse was born. I think I am the most gorgeous baby, and I know everyone says that about their children.
It's like we love animals, but honestly, we don't really care. Cute for you. You know what else is cute for Kendall? That she's the only one eating that damn cake. Everyone else is worrying about calories, but not the supermodel. The supermodel is out here cutting the cake with a freaking icing thing, right? Because she doesn't know her way around the kitchen.
Kenny, clearly the kitchen is not like your safe space.
What did I do wrong, guys? It won't come out.
She's not a good food cutter.
Oh, I was picking it up too low. Got it.
Khloe's saying Kendall is not good in the kitchen. Like, we're getting another cucumber gate.
I can't believe that, like, if she wants to have a baby or not is still a point in the storyline. Like, Kris keeps on bringing it up.
So wait, I had a dream that you had a baby.
With who?
It wasn't clear who it was with. It was just you had a baby. Do you ever think you want a baby one day?
Of course. 3 max. I'm cool with 2, though. I just want my kid to for sure have a sibling. I know that.
Oh, okay.
I know we're all different, but me personally, I would love to see Kendall have a baby. And she'd be such a good mommy.
I swear I got this, and I will give you a grandkid when the time is right and when it all makes sense perfectly. I just think about my life and the freedom that I have right now and like the ease and like picking up and going somewhere. I just like that right now.
That's gonna change.
Completely. Your whole life changes.
Yeah.
But I'm also like not gonna do it with just anybody. Like I wanna
have a love life.
Yeah.
Have a story and a wedding and a fairy tale.
Exactly.
I got you, kid.
You know, I'm traditional, I guess, in that sense.
I love that.
And I wonder if truly Kris is that consumed by it, you know, given that at this point, I'm not sure she even has a partner. So why is Kris bringing it up? Why is Kendall talking about it? You know, she talked about it in the last episode with Scott too, like with her anxiety.
It's one of the reasons why I'm like actually scared to have children.
It's just like, you know, Kendall, we'll talk when you have a baby. Stop talking about whether you want to have a baby or not. We're tired of it. Thank you, next. What did you guys think of episode 7 of the Kardashians? Let us know in the comments below.
And make sure to check out last week's recap in case you missed it.
And don't forget to subscribe.
The next day after you like do the deed, like, do you feel anything? Do you feel like she needs to put herself first and be like, you don't stand a chance? I don't think you deserve Khloe.
Hey guys, welcome back to Kards Katch Up with E! News. There's a star this episode, you guys, and his name is Tristan Thompson.
Tristan!
He's doing the rounds. Khloe has to sit through yet another conversation. Painful. Can I add painful?
I have a lot of respect for your whole family, so I feel like it's important for me to, you know, go down the line and speak to everyone, and whether they want to hear it or not, I would feel better expressing my truth to them.
In this family, if you do something to one of us, it affects everyone. It's not some small thing that happened.
She's over it, but here she is, like you say, Colt, taking one for the team, as she freaking does, and carrying the show on her back. We just found out from Khloe that Kendall wants nothing to do with him.
I was like, I'm not kicking you out. I just Kendall doesn't like you very much.
Love you, Kendall.
Yes, Kendall.
Kylie has been having an issue with him, and like she said, she knows that he saw what she said on the show.
This was just really unforgivable.
First, we see Tristan go over to Kylie's. Khloé even said, like, you really owe her this conversation. And it's because, obviously, one of the cheating situations happened with her best friend, Jordyn. So they sit down and talk. And by the way, Kylie even gets emotional at a point when Tristan is kind of saying that he wants True to be, like, proud of her father.
I never want my daughter to go to school and, like, talk so great about me. Then a little kid comes and says, oh, well, your dad is like this, and she'll be embarrassed. Yeah. And that will break my heart because she views me as such a high regards.
Oh, Tristan.
High, you know? So, like, that's, like, the stuff that motivates me.
You're gonna make me cry.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to.
And it's like, didn't work on me.
Khloé needs to date a musician like Kourtney so she can go on an actual tour. Instead, she's over here on an apology tour with Tristan that she wants nothing to do with. And is it even an apology tour when Tristan is making the Kardashians apologize for him? The conversation he had with Kylie Jenner, where we finally got to see the moment we've been waiting for, was Kylie's real reaction to an end of a friendship with Jordyn. And he's like, oh, really? Well, can you apologize for me? Because he's probably blocked on everything.
Well, let her know I apologize for, whatever, she went through a lot during that time too, and probably gave her a lot of flack. So hopefully she'll relay that message to Jordyn because it affected a lot of people.
I know. He's like, tell her I'm sorry because she probably like caught some shit. It's like, yeah, you think? But I did like what Kylie said because it did sound like she was saying like, obviously this didn't happen for a reason and wouldn't wish this upon Khloé. But at the end of the day, she was like, Jordyn and I were so codependent. She was living in my house. Like she needed to grow. We needed to go our separate ways.
I think I was so codependent with Jordyn that I could have never imagined my life without her.
Yeah.
We would have probably still been like living together. And I think she needed to grow without me. I needed to grow without her.
I feel like that was Kylie's way of saying, like, I'm good.
And you know what was made me so ew to my stomach? Hearing Tristan talk to Khloé and Kourtney and him have to repeat, you understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
No one gives a shit what you're saying, Tristan. Like,
and by the way, no, we don't.
Yeah, no one does. And no one cares.
Unforgivable still. I don't care if you did therapy. I'm sorry. I can't. Tristan's next conversation is with Kourtney. I love how Kourtney said in the confessional that like he wanted to talk in Palm Springs and she was like, let me eat Cheetos and live.
When we were in Palm Springs for Easter, Tristan kept referencing his life and his future with Khloé. And he texted me the second he left my house asking to talk, and I was trying to eat my Cheetos in peace and didn't want to go talk to him when I was in Palm Springs.
So he comes to her house. Cute little Kourt has a notepad that she didn't write a single word in. And he gets deep with Kourtney too. He explains to her about his father and why he thinks he's acting this way.
I think with therapy, I realized that my childhood upbringing, what I saw from like my dad, how he would treat my mom.
Yeah.
As a kid, when you see that, the trauma you have is because you can't protect your mom because you're so young, and because your mom tells it's going to be okay, you basically numb your emotions of being scared or feeling sad. It's my form of a defense mechanism.
And he says that to her because she asks, like, why do you think you do it? Do you feel bad? And he's like, yeah, I definitely feel bad the next day.
Like, I am curious just as to, like, I wonder if Tristan ever was like, I don't have remorse.
No, so that's fair.
The next day after you, like, do the deed, like, do you feel anything?
For me personally, when I cheat, I feel disgusted the next day.
But then, so then why do you do it again?
And it's like, oh, he feels bad the next day.
I would feel bad every single day, not just the next day.
I mean, let's be honest. Every time he did what he did, he couldn't give a flying F if he got caught. What he did was like wild. The nuzzling at the club. Jordyn is Kylie's best friend. A baby is gonna come out.
Literally, it's gonna come out.
So as Tristan was talking to Kourtney about how he grew up and didn't have the best example, he was also saying that his mom basically never put herself first.
Okay, so then for Khloé, putting Khloé, comparing her to your mom.
Yeah.
And thinking like you never had the mom who put herself first. But with Khloé, do you feel like she needs to put herself first and be like, you don't stand a chance?
To be continued. Damn, I love a TBC.
And the fact that we are leading up to, I don't think you deserve Khloé.
Well, I think I can't tell.
No, I know
Yeah.
you can't tell her
no,
that.
I
I'm just
think-
saying, but I don't think you deserve Khloe. Or the way the actions that you've done have been something that she's deserved.
What is she gonna say in the next episode that is gonna be even more of a dagger to Tristan's
What
heart?
is he gonna say? How is he gonna say? I hope he says, you know what? She should put herself first.
I think he's gonna say, you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
No, he's not gonna say that.
So another part of this episode, we do have Kimberly. She won't miss an episode, even though the B has a tight ass schedule. And I ain't jealous of that schedule because I don't know when she's sleeping, but she is being overworked. And part of this is her filming for American Horror Story in New York. There Kim is reading her lines for American Horror Story.
Oh, that was a line.
Then she flies off to New York. She has a gazillion things on her schedule. She can get in maybe 4 hours of sleep. And it's like, how does she do it all?
I'm in New York and I have like back-to-back lined up things to do in these like 2 days that I'm here.
This is a big day for you. You flew in this morning, right?
Yeah.
Did you get any sleep on the plane?
Yeah, only 4 hours. Operating on 4.
She's having an acting coach class via Zoom at midnight. Like, could you imagine? It's a work day. Ended at 6.
I remember when Kim Kardashian said she saw on TikTok how tired she was at the Skims pop-up.
I looked on TikTok and saw me walking up to people, fans that I know and love.
We have a whole month's line coming soon.
Ooh, oh my God.
Telling them all of our Skims secrets about how we're launching men soon. Actually, no recollection of this. Have no idea that I stopped at the Tiffany store and was posting all about it.
I remember sticking up for her, being like, you guys, she's studying for the bar. She's flying all over the world.
Well, Kim still does it all. I was worried about her for a moment when she was like, I'm feeling faint.
I definitely feel a little bit like overwhelmed right now. Like, I can't breathe.
I just feel like I need a breather. I don't have a minute. It's so many days of that in a row that I just can't catch up.
I feel like faint and like just at this current moment, I'm like, oh my God, I just want to get in bed.
But guess what? Even with her tight schedule and her not knowing that her sister happens to be in the same state as her at the same time, which was a story for another day.
Kim happened to be in New York City while we're in Brooklyn. Kourt texts me saying, hey, you're in New York. Oh my God, we're in Brooklyn.
She did find out that Kourtney is in Brooklyn for the Blink-182 tour, and she hops on a heli because according to them, it would take 3 hours to get to Brooklyn, which doesn't make sense. I live in New York, but that's cute.
I don't know how I'd make it. It was like a 2 or 3 hour drive.
She, made a big effort to be here, took a helicopter.
It's just her excuse to order a helicopter to take her.
Yeah. Girl, take a breather, okay? Your empires will keep empiring. So what did you guys think of episode 8 of The Kardashians? Let us know in the comments below.
And make sure to check out last week's recap in case you missed it.
And don't forget to subscribe.
I just truly didn't think to invite them to the LA concert and didn't think that they would care to come. It's not about you.
Did you guys enjoy the reveal?
Yeah. She found out on the news, my mom.
She
woke
wasn't
up
very happy. She forgot she had a family.
Maybe think about telling them that you're doing that before it goes to the media. Hi, YouTube. Welcome back to Kards Katch Up. This is the season finale. And lordy, Scott is 40. Everyone showed up except Kourtney. So Kourtney does not want to push her boundaries. For Scott's 40th. I love that she's basically the star of this finale because we didn't get a lot of her at the beginning of the season. She takes Khloé and Kris, which are my favorite duo out of the whole family, on a tour bus to see Travis perform in San Diego. And we really get a feeling of the nitty gritty, which is like, it's not about the big fights and the drama. Like, I love those moments of like seeing how Kris like needs to know what coffee Travis is drinking.
Who's Dunkin' coffee? Travis.
Oh.
Needs to know what sandwich Travis is eating.
What is Travis eating?
But Travis doesn't eat at this hour.
He doesn't eat at this hour.
Oh.
I love how we're getting to see Kourtney kind of get annoyed with her family because she's realizing, oh, this is why I don't hang out with you guys as much anymore. Because when it comes to the Kardashians, it is a whole production and they are in charge of everything. Hence why Kris Jenner is texting her assistant Matthew.
Are we by the Del Mar Fairgrounds? Where are we? Why would Matthew know? Matthew's back in Calabasas.
Can I tell you something? Like, he's not in the car. But let's talk about Kris and Khloé getting on the bus at the beginning and talking to camera about how Kris was a little upset that she had to find out about Kourtney's pregnancy announcement to the world on TV.
Did you guys enjoy the reveal?
Yeah.
She found out on the news, my mom.
I
She
woke
wasn't
up
very happy.
I opened my eyes.
Rightfully so.
And right in front of me, because we had left the TV on the night before, and woke up really early in the morning to see Kourtney holding a sign. And I thought it was being punked. I'm like, did somebody put this up? And then I realized it was the ABC News. She forgot she had a family. That's what pregnancy brain does. It's wild how that happens.
You know, I'm usually Team Kourt, and I try to see her side, but it's like, your family lives in LA. Like, if you're planning on doing this at the LA show, like, maybe think about telling them that you're doing that before it goes to the media.
I just truly didn't think to invite them to the LA concert and didn't think that they would care to come. It's not about you. It just truly was our way to tell the world, and it was about me and Travis.
But Colt, at the same time, her family doesn't know one Blink-182 song.
How many Blink songs do you know?
I don't know any.
You don't know What's My Age Again? What? Where? I don't understand. If I was Travis, like, I'd be a little butthurt.
Or like, What's My Age Again?
Have you heard What's My Age Again?
I don't know.
I feel like the vibe was just a little off, but it was kind of funny that, like, Kourtney loves being pregnant. She's Mama Earth, like God's plan. And she loves wearing her belly out, especially now that everyone knows. And P is a little triggered.
Mom, please. Yeah?
She doesn't like that your belly's out.
Oh, you want me to zip it up?
You're so bratty.
I think it's so cute.
Stop showing off. You're showing off your belly. It's like annoying. But anyway, they get to the house. They have this like room picking situation. They're all indecisive. Kourtney has to check a million times what room.
Guys. There's rooms for everyone.
Lo and behold, and not to our surprise, she blames Kris for everything.
Why is this taking 30 minutes for us to pick a room?
My mom is a massive control freak, and I think that we all get a bit of controlling nature from her. And when I'm around her, and I'm around Khloé, it makes me never want to be that way.
And then they're trying to have this like kitchen counter conversation.
What about you like makes you have this need to be so
bossy?
Controlling? No,
Bossy.
control. It's control.
Oh, I don't know.
Are you ever curious about yourself of why you're so
I was curious
controlling?
about where we were.
Kris cracked me up trying to like make it light.
Wait, sorry, but how cute is this? It's in
for hard-boiled eggs.
And Kourtney is trying to therapize.
Well, it does exist.
Actually,
you can be back in your feminine energy if you ever desire.
She's like, have you ever thought why you're like this? And do you know the generational trauma?
And you think choosing bad partners is like a genetic thing?
I think it's generational. I think it's like from MJ.
Do you know that your, molecule was in Nana that passed on to me and I have your trauma?
MJ's trauma.
Okay.
And Nana's trauma.
What?
Was like inside of me and you, because it was inside of mom.
And Kris is literally like, do you have a dimple?
Do you do therapy or no?
Do you have a cute little dimple in your chin right there?
I think I do.
Kris Jenner just does not want to have these conversations with Kourtney right now. And it was truly the funniest thing in the entire world.
But you know what? Who wants to have these conversations? Like, I love Kourtney, but like, let's have fun. Like, rock out with your account, yes. Which like kills me that Kris couldn't do the thing. And Khloé kept on but Kourtney was trying to like tell Kris, like, you don't have to be like a boss all the time. You can let out your feminine energy, like let somebody else decide.
There's like being in your feminine, which is like self-care, like not overthinking, not overdoing.
And it's kind of like makes you think that even though Kourtney used to be very controlling with Scott and obviously wanted to control that relationship, and she constantly refers to as toxic.
A toxic relationship.
And I'm like, wow, she really took the role of like little wifey with Travis Barker. It looks like she lets him make a lot of the big decisions. It looks like he chose the baby name, which, drum roll, because we're not gonna have to wait for a year like with the other sisters. It's Rocky 13, you guys.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm so happy. Rocky.
Travis, I feel like decided on his own. It feels like his own passion.
Oh my God, he went on a podcast and talked about it. He did an interview with Complex and talked about it. Now we're seeing on the show that he's already had the name picked out before they even found out it was a boy.
Kourtney's like very, I don't know if lordy, but you know, even when people would be like, what do you want, a boy or a girl? She's like, God's plan, God's plan.
Whatever is God's plan.
Prepare for God's plan.
God's plan.
It's like, fucking say what you prefer, okay? We know it's God's plan. We know the most important thing is that the baby is healthy, but like, just lean in. And here's the thing, like, I feel like now we can notice with this feminine energy that really, like, it's Travis's world and she's living in it. Even the gender reveal that she told her family about 5 seconds before.
We are doing our gender reveal. If you guys, anyone wants to come.
You're telling me the day before?
Mm-hmm.
Was like a drumming tour thing. It's like, did he not have enough time on like real tour? The gender reveal had to be tour too. Another part of this episode, even though Kourtney, you know, took up a lot, was again, Kim, work. I feel like Kim took the variety comment, like, get your ass up and work.
Get your ass up and work.
And she just took it upon herself to work more because it's like she's always worked so much. And now the narrative is like, no, but this is the most she's ever worked.
I have to get ready to go back to New York. I'm filming American Horror Story. No days off.
Like getting up at 4 a.m. to film American Horror Story is a lot.
My call time was 4 a.m. Yeah, it's like long days. I have like 8 days of full back-to-back work. I have so much respect for actors. These long hours are really, really crazy.
And filming all day and remembering these lines. And this is after, you know, trotting the globe.
And I love how she's like, this isn't just a little cameo. Like, this is an actual role. I need to learn my lines. I have to do this. Like, she didn't even know how big of a commitment this was going to be.
This is not like some little cameo. This is like a serious role I'm in. That's the one thing that I'm just like insecure about.
It's eye-opening because it's kind of like, whoa, the cameras are rolling on this behind the scenes of this television show that I think if I was Emma Robertson, an actress or actor, I'd be kind of weirded out. Like, why the hell are you bringing your camera crew behind the scenes when we're already filming the show?
Emma is so nice, so pretty, so sweet, and she's so creative. What if the cast hates me? What if they are like, oh God, why is she here? You know, that kind of energy.
I did write all my sisters and my mom and everyone today, and I said, you guys, I just want you to be really appreciative. This shit's like really long hours. You should be really lucky that you have to roll out of bed and film in your house. With makeup, without makeup, whatever you want to do.
It's a different beast. It's definitely.
Because it's just like when you're a Kardashian, like the cameras come everywhere. So I wonder how that feels to be on set.
Well, it feels to me like, not to discredit Kim, because she obviously did a good job. The directors were happy.
I tried not to have expectations. She did not disappoint.
But we have to also understand that this is a business and they also want somebody like Kim so that more people will watch the show. So if the camera crews are gonna come, they're gonna come, Emma Roberts. You're gonna have to deal with it. But I love how we got to see like Kim doing something else because she does try to show us the lawyering and the prison breaking and all that. And it's like, great, babe, keep on doing good for the world, but like less entertaining for us. This was actually entertaining and also lets us see like, damn, acting isn't so glamorous. It looks hard.
I'm losing my voice because I'm talking so much and I have so many lyrics that song lines. What the is wrong with me today?
So many people want to be actors and like think that's the life. And you could tell that Kim, who's so used to the hustle and bustle, this was a lot for her. This was more than usual. This is more than a photo shoot that takes a couple hours. So what did you guys think of the season finale of the Kardashians? Let us know in the comments below.
And make sure to check out this season's past recaps in case you missed them.
And don't forget to subscribe.